So this is kind of a fun one. I don't know, just for good measure. You and Dad being such a wonderful complement to each other would have me wondering how I would ever, see you not in partnership with each other as parents, as lovers, as business partners. But let's say there was this, hypothetical scenario where Dad was called by an employer who was about ready to hire you and for a recommendation. And what do you think that he would say about you in the way of a balanced set of feedback about you, things that you're good at and things that you're not so good at? What do you think he'd share? And you had told him that it's okay for him to just tell him everything.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I know he'd flower it as much as he could. They'd say, "Boy, she must be Superwoman."
What would he say? And how would he?
Yeah, he would just say.
What were the ways he what were the compliments he gave you, and what was the feedback he gave you?
I just don't know. I just don't know. But I know he was very generous in compliments, and but I don't know. He would probably say that she'll stay there till the job's done.
Mm-hmm.
She won't be maybe the fastest one, and yeah.
I think he used to.
She's capable of getting mad.
He'd say that?
I think so.
He used to say you're level-headed. That was one of his terms, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. But I don't know what he would say. I know he'd dress it up a little better than I really was, though.
What would he? Maybe this is another way of getting at this, and maybe it'll move us toward the ways you compliment each other. But what do you think you would say about him if the same, the scenario were reversed?
If I was being truly honest,
yeah,
I have thought about this. I would say you'd get more than your money's worth, but don't try and control him.
He'll over-deliver as long as you just but let him go.
You let him go.
to tell him maybe what needs to be done, although even that's risky, but don't tell him how.
No.
So, and how then with that, I think, how do you compliment that? You did that. You did just that with him.
Well, I would do anything I could to try and keep track of what was going on, and I always would do that, and I appreciated the way he was, and I think he appreciated the way I was, but yeah, different as night and day.
Mm-hmm. Did a part of you enjoy, maybe not in the moment, this is another thing I've been curious about, after you in fact did do your part to shore up whatever decision had been made, did you look back on it and kind of feel certain kind of satisfaction, like you truly were a part of this formula? And satisfaction in that achievement.
A little bit. That somehow we were able to hold some stuff together. Yeah, I was. But I could have everything prepared for days, get it ready for a meeting, but then to get him to sit down for the meeting,
Mm-hmm.
But he was a quick thinker, he jumped a few steps, maybe, but he got to the same end result.
Yeah. And the decisions that were made, I think you and I, we looked at this a couple of years, it seems like a couple of years ago, but the proportion of good decisions versus bad decisions was high enough. It was a high enough proportion that that it worked.
Yeah, and the times affect all of us. I have always believed. You could be the best businessman in the world or the best farmer in the world, and then there could be some kind of a crisis, or something you're selling could all of a sudden be not in favor. So then the times can get you too. You know, I would say just to, what you have to do is keep trying, because not everything's going to work out. And to me, I just think that if you do enough things, something's going to work out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You may not know which thing is going to save you.
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah, and it's not that silly, metaphor that throw enough at the wall. It's
Right,
not that.
but that's kind of the same thing.
But it
Something's
is-
going to stick.
Okay. There was a lot of instinct, I think, in that for both of you.
Yeah.
That I think
Uh-huh. But
I'm a believer in instinct. That
Yeah.
there's truly something there. The decision maker who can't acknowledge the value of instinct is not a complete decision maker, because sometimes that's all you have. You don't have
That's right.
complete data.
Yeah.
Or enough data so you just gotta kind of go with your gut. And
Mm-hmm.
what were you thinking?
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking that Dad was very good, back to that, in reading people and reading a situation. Because like if I just noticed a lot of times where I might spend an hour explaining something, or he could kind of walk in and get the high points and get what the real problem was right away. And he would be, more one that would just solve the problem and forget about all this side stuff you're talking about, I don't know. Do you
You'd
get what I
to
mean?
the the essential
Yeah,
question, or
what the real problem
you
is.
kind of know which
Don't need all the
questions
details.
and
Yeah.
details were just bullshit,
Right.
irrelevant. He
Right.
could boil down to what really was relevant and
Yeah.
what mattered.
Yeah.
He was good at that.
He was. Yeah. He was a strong. I like the way he thought.
Then he ran, like you said, he came home with some decisions, but he also ran a lot of them by you too.
Oh, my
And I'm
gosh.
thinking about again proportions, right? But countless
Yeah.
moments where he was there with you. You were his.
Yeah.
You were
There
his
was no
confidant.
surprises for me when Dad passed away. There wasn't anything that I wasn't. But especially in the last years, he would be off selling trailers or buying tractors or doing something, and then as soon as he'd come home, he'd sit right down at the table and tell me about the whole day. And I loved it.
You did.
Yes. So, I mean, I wasn't traipsing around the country with him, but, I knew where he'd been and who
Why-
he saw and
Yeah.
what they'd talked about, and pretty
Really?
much to a point. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, you loved it, huh?
Yeah, did. I loved hearing about it.
Yeah, it does. It's what makes the world go around.